kick every episode off by going around the table, which is where we talk about something new, fun, and noteworthy about our weeks. Luke, you look like a guy who's had a week.
Yeah, I had a week. I did it.
Had a week. Had a week.
I had a week. Listen.
Luke, are you sick right now?
Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm falling apart. My body's ending itself. No, like my voice is
That's sad.
scratchy. My nose is running. My eyes are watering. I keep sneezing. I got what Ohioans and Midwesterners called the spring cold. It's
That's
getting
not very creative.
yeah.
I was really pumped about whatever you're going to say.
No.
I wanted to feel in the know.
It's getting warmer out, but it's like that time of year where it's like cold, then warm, then cold, then warm, then cold, and I just got sick. So I'm sick.
Your body just can't. It's too much for your body.
Yeah, I can't handle it. So I'm sick. This week has been, all kinds of normal stuff. Life happens, and my friends weren't around. You guys were having fun, so I feel like a little out of touch from you guys. We haven't talked as much. That just always happens when two of us are doing something and the other one is not. It feels a little bit out of the loop for the one that's not. So
Yeah.
It's true.
that's it. I mean, really, my week. I haven't had much going on. I've been playing a whole bunch of board games. I'm going to talk about one later. Azul. Been playing a lot of Azul with people. That game is so freaking good.
Patrick loves that game.
There is.
I do like it, but I'm so bad at it.
No, you're
It's
not.
true.
You're not bad at it.
No, he is.
No, he's not good
Let-
at it, but he's not bad at it.
I was very
Just
bad
let-
at it.
Just let it happen.
Okay, fine. You're bad at it.
Azul's the one with the tiles.
Yes, correct. It's the.
I lost. It's so bad. Now, I counted my score wrong every single time, but I lost by dozens
So maybe
of points.
what you're bad at is not the game. It's
It's just
bad
math.
at math.
Yeah, just bad math.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
So there's two things I suck at.
So I've been playing that. I've been playing Battle Wizards. So there's like three versions of the Battle Wizards game. The Battle of Mount Skullfire, and then there's another one, and then the new one is like it has a
Tentakill is the second one.
Tentakill is 2, and then 3 is something else just as crazy. I forget what it's called now.
It
but
just came out like a couple months ago, right?
so I got it. And it's really fun. They added a cantrip mechanic. So for D&D players, a cantrip is a spell that a spellcaster can do that doesn't take a spell slot. It's like a free spell. This is if you have a card that has a cantrip on it, you can play 2 of whatever kind of card it takes to cast the spell, and then you can add that to your spell that you lay down on the table. So you can make more powerful spells by adding these extra cantrip things to it. So that's pretty cool. They kept the creature mechanic. The standee in the first one did nothing. Second game, they added things that the standee does, which is like that cardboard piece that sits on the table. Third game, standee doesn't really do anything again. So it's kind of like all over the place on how they're designing this game. So it feels really weird, but it's still really fun. Just playing a wizard and killing everybody else at the table. And it's ridiculous. Like the names for stuff and the imagery is just ridiculous. That's by Cryptozoic. You can find out what it's called if I'm just look it up. Battle Wizards on Cryptozoic. Other than that, man, not really much. I'm sick, playing a lot of games, and excited that you guys are back to a normal schedule so we can be friends again. Andrew, you take it.
Okay. So like Luke said, Patrick and I were gone for several days in Florida. Patrick's going to be talking a lot more about that for his master category, so we'll save kind of the bulk of that. But prior to leaving, I got the opportunity to go and cover the Jason Edmiston Eyes Without a Face 2 show at Mondo, and it was holy crap cool. I've seen his work a dozen times, right? We've met him in person and all these different things. But seeing these eye paintings in person, there's just another level to it. It's kind of hard to describe. They're kind of hyper real. They're ultra realistic, but like more beautiful than they probably would be on an actual person. Like it's hard to describe.
They look very vibrant from the imagery you showed.
Very vibrant, and they're all at one to one scale, so they're at the right scale. And so he had Buzz and Woody, which were like this big, all the way up to a 22 foot by 8.5 foot tall Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which was
Incredible.
insane. Took up the entire wall. He actually painted it over the course of like 2 weeks. It was actually installed in Mondo, like where it is where he painted it. He painted it for a week leading up to MondoCon. Then they took it down, rolled it up, and stored it in the back. And then they put it back up, and he finished it the week before the show.
Really?
And then they installed. He went to Home Depot and got like trim and actually trimmed it out.
Oh wow! I was
on the
wondering
wall.
how he got it transported there. Like that would
He
have
did
been
it
a ton.
all there. So
That makes way more sense now.
it does make way more sense. And he was trying to so he told us, you know, the listeners didn't hear this, but like we knew ahead of time that it was going to be Stay Puft.
Sure.
And he was trying to downplay it. He was like, it's not that impressive because it's mostly just a white
Just
canvas.
white, blah blah blah.
It's
yeah.
not. I don't think there's a bit of white on there. It's all tones of
Yeah.
white. So there's purples and grays and blues and things, but it's realistic. So
It's
you got to
gradients,
imagine
man.
a marshmallow isn't white. A marshmallow is a reflective surface of whatever colors around it, you know. And so, and then he had all of his sketches for each of them. I think just about every piece sold out. It was like a 200-piece solo show. I think just about every single one of them sold the
so
night
awesome.
of the show. And it's the first press that I've been a part of, like press release part that I've been a part of, where I wasn't allowed to buy anything because it was all originals.
Right.
If I wanted to buy something, I would have had to go and get in the line. The guy who waited in line, the guy in line for like as the number one in line, waited over 9 days.
That's crazy.
And he got the McCready piece from
The Thing?
The Thing.
Yeah.
So Kurt Russell. It's beautiful.
Now,
I mean,
he was holding a SpongeBob too. Did he get a SpongeBob?
so okay, so Jason did a SpongeBob that was about this big,
Yeah.
like at the same scale that Buzz and Woody. But then he did a completed one. I guess I don't know what triggered the difference, but the final one that was up on the wall was about this big.
Oh.
So like I guess it wasn't at the right scale. So he gave him the first one for staying in line for so
Oh,
long.
that's cool.
So he got a bonus. Yeah, he got a bonus painting just for hanging out. And Jason's such a class act.
He's such a good
Jason
dude,
brought
man.
me this. This is what I was going to show you. Jason brought this for me.
Wow.
Signed Jaclay from Iron Giant that he did. He brought this for me for doing the show and having him on the show.
That's awesome.
He, in the middle of this solo show where all this stuff is going on, he comes over and he's like, "Hey, I got a piece, you know, I got something for you. Don't let me forget to give it to you." I'm like, dude, there's so many other thousands of things going on right now, and you remember
I can wait. I can wait.
Yeah, but such a cool dude, and that will not be the last time we talk to Jason.
Sure.
He's got some other stuff down the pipe, and we'll be chatting with him again. I imagine
We would
in the not too
never.
distant future.
We would never tell our listeners if we had an unpleasant experience with an artist that we interviewed or talked to.
Sure.
it's true.
But we will absolutely tell you when we have an overly pleasant experience.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
Jason is incredible.
Yeah.
Jason
That
is
dude
one of
an
the
amazing
one of the
guy.
nicest guys. Yeah, and he continues the trend of Canadians. We've never had an undelightful Canadian on our show.
True.
It's true.
If you're a Canadian and
so-
you've been on the show, you've been a delight.
It's true. So there's like a sub 3 minute like little recap video where I shot some footage of the actual show where you can see some close-ups of some of these pieces, which are amazing. It's live on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. Takes you 3 minutes.
It'll be linked below, probably.
Yeah, there'll be a link to it below. But man, it was a really, really cool show. And then I had a great week in Florida. A huge thanks to some really, really awesome community members of ours for helping us have an incredible trip. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, Patrick, why don't you round the bases on the around the table?
Yeah, a couple cool things. One, interesting. So I've been looking at phones that are coming out later this year because I chose not to upgrade during the whole end of 2017 with the new iPhones and the Pixel. Decided to, hey, phone's paid off. Let's wait a year. Let's pocket some money, and then let's go at it again end of 2018. So I know we're a bit away. I mean, I've got another 6 months. I need to wait. But then we'll be getting towards the releases of the new phones. And so I started looking through, and even now you can find rumors and speculations and all this kind of stuff. But I found this really interesting thing. So the idea, this is a patent that I don't know if it's been applied for by Apple or what it is, but the idea is that, okay, let's say that you have a band that's performing, and the band doesn't want people recording their stage shows because it's poor quality or they don't want songs to get out or whatever it is. So they could have a device that is, I don't know if it's a sound frequency, I don't know if it's a light frequency, but that is emitting a frequency that if someone goes to record, their phone will not allow them to record because of, again, either that sound frequency or that light frequency that's being emitted. It will let the phone know they can't record, and it will prevent the phone from recording in those scenarios.
Do you have to have a special phone?
No. They would be baked into whatever I mean, I'm sure it'll be a combination of hardware and software thing, but it would just
software thing.
Baked into future phones. And so now there are artists that already do work to prevent people from taking phones in. Chappelle is known, like if you go to a show of his, there is a lock box your phone has to go into that your phone stays locked, and when you go to leave, I think someone actually unlocks it.
Yeah, you keep it on your
type
person.
thing.
You know,
Huh?
they don't take your phone away. It's a little bag that is locked.
Right, exactly. So you still have your phone, but you can't access it till you leave.
Right.
So there's already things like that people are using.
Wow.
But this would say you can keep your phone on you, and you can use it to make calls and text and do whatever. But if you tried to record, the phone would know that you're not supposed to record in that scenario, and it just wouldn't let you. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm not sure how I feel about spending $1,000 on a piece of hardware that then is limited from being usable in situations. I feel weird about it, but
yeah. So at least, I mean, for me, that creates a jumping off point in my mind of, I get it from the artist standpoint of a produced like production or a performance aspect, because you're paying the ticket price is you're going and seeing this performance. And actually, it's hurting the people that aren't recording because they're seeing all these people hold up their stupid phones, and it's taking away from the live aspect of music that we've had forever. The problem is that what happens when, months down the road, like law enforcement implements, if it's a tone, that all of the cops have that tone. And if there's something that happens, you can't record on your phone any of that situation. Or if there's something that happens like,
it's the abuse of that. Like, what if somebody's gonna rob a bank, somebody's gonna do a whatever that they don't want filmed, they don't want it captured for one reason or another, and they just play this tone, and all of a sudden they're not gonna go viral.
Right. Yeah. It's a weird situation.
So it's something
That's
I hadn't
a Black Mirror
considered.
episode.
I know. So it's something I never considered. It's something where I can totally see where the technology exists to do something like this.
Sure.
It's going to be very interesting to see what actually happens and how soon we start hearing more about this, because I can definitely understand use cases for it. I don't see how this ends well. But we already pay for devices that we can't manipulate, alter in any way. Like, in many ways, it feels like we're never actually owning the hardware, even though we're paying full price for it. And then now to say that you don't even own full rights of using your device, I just think that's a step even further. Like, it's a bit crazy to me, but we'll see how it unfolds. So one last thing while we're sitting here. We talked to Ali Moreno from Cyclops. I feel like I said her name a weird way. Very nice.
That's because it's a Georgian accent.
Yeah, that's why. And we talked to her on the show. Super, super nice. And ended up buying a print for another scenario from Cyclops. This is what I want to show. She sent a card with the print. And I'm obviously not going to read you what's on the card, but this is the coolest card I've ever received. So this is like the outside of the card, right? And then on the inside, you can see on the top section, you've got this really awesome like gloss,
Yeah.
whatever finish for the actual logo, and then of course the actual written card. But I just think that is so cool. So would this be like leftover of a run or something like that? Would this be?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think that's Tom Whalen, right?
I don't know. What character is this? It looks like it's Tom Whalen. I don't know what character this is.
I think it might be from The Great Mouse Detective.
Possible. Yep.
We Google and find out. Anyway, awesome card. Really loved it. So I am going to say one last thing because I said I would. I told Matthew Vargas, who's new to Slack and in fact new to the M of One community, welcome.
Hi,
that
Matthew.
I would say something on the show. By the way, also, if anybody likes Frozen, come take this from me. Here you go. But
The Great Mouse Detective by Tom Whalen.
Oh, that's
Cyclops
what it is.
Printworks, number 50. There you
Great.
go.
Yeah,
You
what
have the variant version.
I'm gonna sell this card. I'm gonna frame it and sell it. So there's great conversation in Slack. If you're not in Slack, it's mofonepodcast.com/Slack. Enter your email address. You'll get an invite to bring you in. It's an online community. Have about 300 people that are in there talking, sharing things, and offering up suggestions and advice. And it's a really cool environment. Yesterday we had a pretty long thread that went for a large part of the day that had to do with how do you determine how much to charge for your work, how much to bill, and then how do you determine who is a good client versus who isn't a good client, so who's someone you should take on or not. So I was going to add my thoughts to the conversation. I'm going to save my thoughts right now and wait till we can do maybe a larger circle up with some more artists. But if that's an interesting conversation to you, join the Slack community, go into the M of One family channel, scroll up a little bit, and there's a ton of information there. And expect an in-depth conversation in the near future about that topic. So if you have any other questions along those lines, kind of like business procedural things that support your art, go ahead and start submitting us those questions so we can put together a larger form episode that just directly addresses those with the correct people. So that is that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it for our Around the Table. Up next, we're going to talk about some master categories. If you're watching this on YouTube, find all the links and things below. Like and subscribe. Make sure you check out our master category episode. We have some great stuff to chat about on there. Find us on all the different social media platforms. Just search M of One Podcast. If you want to support the show financially, go to M of One or patreon.com/M of One Podcast. Man, we've got some cool stuff planned. Got some things that are coming up, some events. We're going to be at Crop. We're going to be at Creative South. We'll be doing a workshop there. So go to crop.com and is it cropbr.com?
Yes.
It's Crop.
Yeah.
Okay, cropbr.com and creativesouth.com and sign up for the workshop there, as well as getting your tickets for the event. That's coming up pretty soon. We're all over the place. Like and subscribe, share, comment, rate, review, all the different things. But for now, we're going to get out of this episode. I'm Andrew.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Luke.
Peace out.
Bye.
Hold on to your butt.